Hello again, Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, and trying a new camera angle suggested through a forum I'm on. Still think I need to get a new camera, but we'll see how this goes. And this time, painting Wild Boars from Malifaux. This might work better. So starting off with Rosy Skin 09068, these are the last models from the Hog Wild box, Ulix's box. Still not sure if I'm saying that one right, but so not a whole lot of this. I'm just putting this on the snouts mostly. Yeah, this could end up getting kind of awkward for me. So some of this is definitely going to be painted over later. Not sure if it's going to be less awkward or more awkward than what I've been doing, but we'll just have to see. I've still got a physical setup where I can't, where I have to have my computer behind me. There's nothing I can really do about that. But these are simply more heavy-hitting pigs for the Gremlins, at least rules-wise. And like all fauna of Malifaux, they are more primal and more dangerous than their earthly counterparts. And 09002 Deep Red. And that said, you know, wild boars and warthogs and other large wild pigs are pretty dangerous in the real world anyway. And this is still really plugged up, so I have the paper clip on. Oh, there we go. I think that's going to get it. But if these get stuck, a paper clip works wonders. Good gravy. It's still kind of stuck. Well, that little bit might be enough to do the job. Don't want to risk this thing blowing up in my face. Just getting tongues there. Alright, I need more paint. Let's see if I can make this cooperate a little bit better. There we go, that's plenty. It's gonna get it. If it gets a little sloppy, that's alright. It'll work out. And his mouth is closed. So then, Shield Brown 09161. My rearrangement of my work area still needs a little modification, apparently. Scoot that back so I don't accidentally punch it out when I'm trying to do this. And I will admit there was a certain temptation to paint one of these guys up like Pumbaa from the Lion King. But I decided against that. So I'm going to go for a more simplified, quasi-realistic color scheme. Of course, I suppose if I really wanted to do an obscure reference on these guys, it doesn't get more obscure than Rock Lords. Run 80s toy lines similar to Transformers, except they turn into rocks. But what was kind of odd is some of the characters of this line were little hair-covered creatures called rock gnarlies, including a boar. Like I said, insanely obscure. There was a lot of experimentation in toy lines in the 80s when I was a kid. Something I wish companies in general would do more now. Lately I've seen companies doing just nothing but proven successes, not trying anything new, not taking the risks of, trying to invent the next big thing. That applies to many industries. Also, there's been a habit in the movie industry of just doing a bunch of remakes of movies that don't even need to be remade. Two examples of that that get the vitriol spewing are the remake of Friday the 13th and the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. I saw both in theaters. The remake of Friday the 13th was, one, the only time I've ever had a theater all to myself, and two, so predictable I almost fell asleep. This is on top of, doing a remake of an iconic horror movie franchise that really didn't need to be remade. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake could be considered good on its own, but the problem is it's a remake of a movie series, an iconic one that didn't need to be remade. I'm trying a little bit of blending. It worked reasonably well on Penelope last time. Just trying to make sure I get the underside too. Almost missed the bristles on this bad boy. Okay. Let that dry and move on a little bit. Okay. 09143 yellowed bonus next. Getting tusks and teeth. Trying not to hit the tongue. Oh, I think that's actually part of his lip I painted earlier. Alright. My, this is going to take a little getting used to. I'll still need to get a better camera, but this new angle may be a start. Improving the videos the way I've been wanting to and needing to for a while. And I nicked the, need a little touch up there where I nicked the fur, that's okay. So, moving forward in terms of what order I do games in. Let's see, I hope I'm in camera, I can't look behind me right now. Relic Knights and Monster Apocalypse have priority, and models for those games will jump ahead in my queues. But generally, I will be continuing to work on these models in the order I acquire them in. I put it that way because some of these were like birthday and Christmas presents. And I wound up missing the inside of this leg here, so I'll just take care of that real quick. So I have a bit too much water in my paint. Just blot it on the paper towel I have off to the side. Managed to miss part of his leg here too. Oh boy. It's irritating, but not that huge a deal. Touch-ups are just part of this. Okay. Now, we're almost upon the horror movie season. And this is just for the sake of making conversation, but there are a couple of old horror movies I would highly recommend that do not get as much attention as they deserve, and that is Candyman and Pumpkinhead. And both of these movies do have, like, almost every horror movie in existence, endless sequels, but they, the first installment of each is, well, decent by any standard, really. So, okay. Just got one more base coat, and then I can start shading. Okay, last base coat, 09160 Woodstain Brown. Should just be a quick rip around the base. See if I can do a little better this time on, keeping this on camera. I'm still getting used to this angle. Being careful where the hoof meets the base. And this will definitely be a little less awkward for me, but I still need to get a better camera. Finally got a recommendation. And I probably should have done this on the first of these Hog Wild videos, but This box set is what my little brother gave me for Christmas this past year, so just thank you, Stefan, my little brother. Yeah, I know it's almost the end of September, and only now have I gotten around to painting this. I've just had a huge backlog. This is definitely more comfortable on my forearms, so I can rest my forearms on the table instead of having to lie on an awkwardly positioned chair. And again, this basing is just a hand-sculpted insert I've done. It's just really quick and easy to do. And if even one person comments below they want to see more on how to sculpt this kind of inserts, that will be all I need to start doing videos regarding that. Okay. Need to let that dry and move on in a bit. Okay. Woodstain brown again, 09160. This is the start of that shading. Keeping the brush nice and wet, about half paint, half water again. Okay, now that just needs to dry before I move on to the next one. Okay. Rosy Shadow 09067. Turn my camera down. Okay. That should. It's not that weird buzzing noise from happening again. It's been a while, but annoying is still annoying. Snout. And 09001 red brick will be the inside of the mouths too. And I almost took out my water. See, that one's mouth is closed. Okay. Once that's dry, I can move on. Okay. Stained Ivory 09142. Again, about half paint, half water. Getting there. Okay. That's just going to leave the base itself, but that'll be the last shade. Okay, last shade, pure black 09037. Oh, but first I'm going to take pure white 09039 and get the pupils real quick. Before I forget. Which is tricky. shaky on some of these guys because of the positioning of the tusks, but can. Now take that pure black 09037 again. Gonna thin it out more than usual. Again, plenty of water. Still trying to get used to this new camera angle. And I am making this extra thin, so I'm using more than the usual half and half paint water blend. Last one. This one has more contact points than the other two. And still need to avoid nicking the hooves. Okay. Alright, time to finish up. Blood Red 09003. So with the highlighting or dry brushing, the dry brush you're going to take no water, just straight paint and brush it on a paper towel till there's nothing, till it looks like there's nothing left on the brush. Switch on the camera here, still getting used to the new angle. Lightly dust. It's not going to stand out that much on the mouths anyway because of well, how closed they are for the most part. And before I forget, I'm going to take pure black 09037, just a tiny dot, and do their pupils real quick. I'm still getting the hang of colored irises, so just a tiny dot of black. Still trying to make sure I'm in camera. This, again, is new angle for me. Rosy highlight, I think. Yeah, that's 09069, by the way. Not a lot of this, just on the snouts. That stands out a lot better than the red, but the red I've used on this is kind of subtle anyway, but 09144 Creamy Ivory. Concerning myself mostly with the most readily visible surfaces. I think this new angle will work out. I just need some practice getting used to it. Definitely more comfortable and less awkward for me as the actual painting. And now just 2 highlights left, plus lining the base. Yeah, Driftwood Brown 09162. Just lightly dusting all along the model. Paint will hit the raised areas, but not the lower areas, leaving your shading intact. And again, I'm mostly concerned with the readily visible surfaces. And try to go against the grain when highlighting. And on brush selection for this step, you want something that's beat up, kind of ragged. So even if a brush, gets worn out and is no longer suitable for the detail work, it also makes it great for the dry brushing. And can continue to be used for dry brushing until it more or less starts to fall apart. What the heck? Huh. And now Shield Brown 09161. There's a bit of the ivory next to his hoof. I'll just take a little straight paint and cover that out and kind of. Okay. Last step. Olive green 09035. And again, this is an arbitrary faction color. Yeah. Still trying to make certain I'm in camera. Carefully going around the edge. This covers up any nicks on the base, and this can be any color. Well, technically any of these malls can be any color. Hell, with my Kojo, Marcus's Big Ape, I went ahead and painted him purple to make a reference to a old Hanna-Barbera cartoon character called Grape Ape, just for laughs. I did my Rusty Alice loosely based off Alice in Wonderland, making her outfit largely blue and getting a blonde streak in her hair. And then my Collodion is marionettes. I've got Collodi based off of Gino from Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, with his marionettes based loosely off of the heroes of Super Mario Brothers, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. So, literally anything you want to do paint-wise, is absolutely fine. So don't get caught into thinking you have to paint it based off the book. Well, I generally prefer to stick to what's, quote, official for skin and hair colors. Anything goes with the outfits for me. And if the official artwork starts to get kind of inconsistent in depicting those colors, then it's anything goes. But again, that's my personal taste overall. What's kind of strange about Malifaux is in first edition, the first books had pictures of the models, but no actual artwork. And that's a story for next time, because that is it. Wild Boar. Alright. This is the last of the Hog Wild box set. So, moving into more Gremlins. And until next time, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.